How does XRP hit $1,000? Okay, so let's take a moment, think about that. I know, I'm with you. That's very far-fetched, but still, there's a lot of analysts out there talking about it. There's a lot of reasons that it can happen. Let's get into some of the projected timelines. And guys, this is purely speculative, so do not take this as gospel. It's not financial advice. It's just looking down the rabbit hole for XRP to see some serious price movement, okay? So for those of you that are new here, my name is Mark. We talk crypto every day. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please do so. And let's talk some crypto and get you guys going into the weekend. I do want to talk about what XRP is doing right now. We've seen Bitcoin and Ethereum make some strong moves into the red. XRP is showing a little bit of strength during weakness, still trading in that 25 cents range in the $2 territory. So albeit we are down 1.9% on the day and 5.5 respectively on the month, it's not been as bad as other alts out there in the market, okay? And it's very easy to forget about the fact that within the last 365 days, XRP was a 60 cents crypto, okay? So we'll take it, all right? And if you do believe in XRP for the long term like me, and obviously I'm not telling you to go out there and buy XRP, I can't give you financial advice. You got to do what's best for you. But for me, XRP is one of my favorite cryptos and one of the ones that I do favor for the long haul. So if you do like XRP for the long haul, this is where we're looking at multiple timelines right now to reach $700 to $1,000. All right, now I know I'm with it. It's audacious. It's a far-fetched conversation to be had, but we're going to talk about it for a couple minutes, okay? And I kind of find myself in the ballpark. Hey, what did you see happen, right, when we were trading at 60 cents? Next thing you know, we're at $3.60, setting all-time highs for XRP. It does not take much to strengthen that conversation, okay? However, 360 is a little different, and I'm talking $3.60. That's a little different than $700 to $1,000, okay? So a lot of these people out there talk about the long-term implications, replacing SWIFT, ETFs, institutional inflows, all that good stuff, right? But for this to happen and go past that $700 zone, you're going to need to look into the fact that just looking at these pundits out there, the XRP bandwagon, if you will, the XRP Army, we know about it, Digital Ascension Group CEO Jake Claver already placed an $18,000 public bet that XRP could reach $750, talking about how that stake go from 18K to 3.5 million if XRP hits that level, okay? Also, Remy Relief reminding the community that he talks to on X that he predicted $1,000 XRP last year. And a lot of people dismissed this call at the time, but now seeing that same prediction elsewhere, okay? Now, let's take a minute, tap the brakes, and let's talk about what actually needs to happen and what are the timelines, okay? So for this to happen and to have this bullish conversation, this would take a very dramatic shift, okay? And I'm going to get into these nuggets. And a lot of people need to understand, for this to happen, you're talking about a fraction of the SWIFT banking system, okay? And that doesn't seem like much, but looking at the trillions of dollars, and it doesn't make sense from a tokenomic standpoint. Trust me, I know the numbers. I've crunched them myself. It does not make sense. However, what I will tell you, though, is putting that all into conversation to be had, it's about what somebody is willing to pay for XRP, okay? So if it happens similar to what we saw with gold way back when, back in the early 1900s, this is something that could take place within digital currency, especially if Donald Trump and the regime that is in the United States continues the pro-regulation and the push for crypto basically to take over finance and modernize that system. Now, if we look at these targets, that would represent a 30,000+% move to get to $700, okay? So we're gonna look into when this could possibly happen, and I don't use these AI tools to kind of tell this story. I think it's kind of worthless. However, as we do look at it, this is where we talk about the explanation, okay? It heavily does rely on SWIFT, okay? And this is where you look into that share of cross-border payments. According to this AI chatbot, Gemini, this is where we look into the 2035 and 2045 time window. Now, a lot of you guys may be saying, hey, I might not even be around in 2035, 2045. Hey, crypto may be all something in the past. There's a lot of open-ended variables, right? But looking back and talking about the digital tech boom, talk Google, talk Microsoft, IBM, back in the 90s and late 80s, Nobody really thought that this was even going to be possible. And now everybody and their brother has an iPhone. You know, I'm talking on a MacBook, and it's not just some silly rainbow colored Apple logo. It's pretty much the mainstay of technology across the globe. Okay. So just kind of using that analogy, and that's a poor one at best, but still, nobody thought Macintosh would become Apple what it is today. Same conversation to be had. Nobody may think that XRP will become what blank will be 10, 15 years from now. So that's just kind of a little bit of an aside to put into your conversation and your thoughts. But as we look into it, guys, this is something where we're talking 2030, 2040 mindset, okay? And taking into consideration some of these targets, you know, looking at a maximum XRP price of 2138 with a lot of analysts by 2040, that's just absolutely insane, okay? And God help us if that actually does take place. So it's fun to talk about, but I've seen crazier things happen. And I know from a tokenomics standpoint, it's completely irrelevant. It's impossible, but just putting it all into consideration, I wanted to make this video to share with you guys, though. It is 2030, 2045, and I want to know your thoughts. So leave me a comment down below. How do you guys stack up with this prediction? And I hate doing price prediction videos, guys. I really, truly do. But I think on a day and week where we have morale at its low point, we see the markets in the red, it's kind of nice to have some optimism surrounding crypto. And it's not just to hear pump sunshine on a cloudy day, but it's still something worth talking about, because I think that a lot of times we lose track of a long-term mindset because everybody and their brother just wants to get rich quick in crypto, okay? But just talking about the first Canary Capital, the first spot XRP ETF in the United States, this was 58 million in volume on its first day and 245 million in inflows, okay? So 8% below the debut of the BlackRock Ethereum ETF. I'm not a big fan of ETFs. I know it adds a lot of excitement and intrigue, but for me, I don't think it really does much long term. I think that XRP can get to where it's going to without an ETF, and that's what I'm kind of fixated on, right? That's kind of what I'm all tuned in on. For me, it's solely dependent on Swift, okay? And just getting that transactional share of that market share, okay? So that's where I'm at. You talk about where we look into the valuation of XRP. If this does take place, this would make them double what gold is worth right now at $28.3 trillion, okay? So that being said, if XRP is at 28.3 trillion, Bitcoin's going to be in a pretty darn good spot too. So 40% of the global stock market is what that represents right now at $147 trillion and 142 trillion of that bond market. So 42% respectively, that would be what XRP makes up. And this is pretty fun to look at comparisons if we do reach $1,000. So if you guys want to pause this video and kind of digest this chart, it does kind of put into perspective I guess you would say the amplification of where XRP is right now if we would see a move to $1,000. And trust me, guys, I know this is far-fetched. Okay, this is just kind of more speculative. It's that rabbit hole conversation. It's not intended just to kind of, like I said, pump sunshine on a cloudy day. I understand if you guys want to blast me in the comments and say, you're delusional, you're insane, XRP will never hit $1,000. Okay, I know. There's a lot of people out there that didn't think Bitcoin would reach 100,000 as well. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, but that's what I have. These comparisons are completely speculative. But I want to know your thoughts and comments down below. Putting all of these notes and nuggets into the equation, if XRP does get that transactional share in replacing the Swift banking system, capturing the trillions in that market share, let me know down below in the comments. Do you think XRP has a shot to reach $750 in price? Okay. With that, I'll leave you guys. Enjoy it. Have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you all soon. And if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please do so now. Also, I am affiliated with BITUNIX. If you do want to trade with me, this is the exchange I use, spot and leverage. Right now, they have a hot promotion going, 25% bonus in USDT right to your trading account. If you do trade in this kind of market, make sure it's right for you, where you're located, understand their terms and conditions. And if you want to take advantage of this sign-up bonus with BITUNIX, that link is down below. Okay, so enjoy it. We'll talk to you guys very soon. Have a great rest of your weekend. Cheers.